Hey, Anastasia here with Access Speakers. I'm going to do something different for my speaker snippet this week. I'm going to do a book review. Never done anything like this before. Now, I'm going to have to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Forgive the glare. Someday I'll have a professional studio. Until then, POW is better than perfect, right? So this is the ABCs of Speaking. It's Your Building Blocks to Speaking Success by Adryenn Ashley, Bret Ridgway, and Caterina Rando. Three people who really know what they're talking about. Caterina, you keep hearing about because she's my business mentor. This is 161 pages. It is such an easy read. It is, I read it in one day, just a few hours actually, and I took a ton of notes. So I'm going to highly recommend that you consider setting aside some time, have a glass of wine, have your morning latte, sit outside with your birds, whatever you got to do, and put some effort into this, because it's also less than a $10 investment. That's like 2 lattes plus tip, right? So if you're not willing to invest that into your own speaking business, I would question how serious you are about this. You may think you know everything, but I guarantee you, you will find something of value in this book to be worth $10. I want to briefly, as quickly as I can, talk about some of the key points that I really liked about this, but please understand, this is not a Cliff Notes version. You don't get to watch this and think that you got the book in, okay? I'm only touching on a few things that I really thought were very, very valuable from my viewpoint. Just the intro alone, I loved the fact that they share all these different things about why you want to be speaking. Now, you know that, I know why, but yet you may not know all the benefits. And there's something about reading it, you think, oh wow, I didn't even really think about that, but yeah, that is a benefit. And it's very inspiring and makes you want to read the rest of the book. One of the things I liked the best was it says, when you deliver a speech, it is as if you are having an introductory phone call or an initial appointment with a whole room full of people at once, right? That's kind of what it's all about. I love that they go into multi-speaker events. They talk quite a bit about that. One of the key tips that they make that I think is fabulous is knowing about the other speakers that are going on before you, because the more you know about them, the more you can tailor your talk to make sure that you are delivering something very different. Otherwise, they would have already spent all their money on those previous speakers, and by the time you come around, it's same old, and they think it's a deja vu. Valid points that they've got about that, and they go into more detail on that. There is one thing that I am going to disagree with about this book on page 30, where they talk about chambers of commerce and Rotary clubs, not the vast majority of them not allowing you to make an offer. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the case, at least not with the more than 1,000 gigs that I have booked, half of which have been with Rotary clubs. I do book with chambers. And 95% of the groups that I book with will allow an offer, a soft offer. They generally will let you sell books, workshops, some kind of a discovery session, etc. What they don't want is they don't want you to abuse their platform for an infomercial. That's kind of a no-brainer, but that's what's happened to them, and that's why they can be uber sensitive. So if they say no, don't take that as no. Go back to them and explain to them, I am not going to pitch. I am going to give full value during my talk. Only at the end of my talk will I take a minute or two to share how people can go further with me if they want to. And 9 times out of 10, they will say yes. So that's just the only thing that I would disagree with on that. Another thing is that when they talk about the different types of speakers, one category that they did not mention that I want you to really be aware of is sponsored speaking. That's another whole animal. I can understand why they didn't talk about it in this book, because that is a book in and of itself. And ironically, just this week, I found out by reaching out saying, hey, you should write a book, to the one person, Julie Austin, of a speaker sponsor, who I think knows sponsored speaking better than anything. And guess what? She wrote a book. So I will be doing a review on that later. I do also want to, I want to point out something. I'm just going to read this really quick because I really, really, really like this. Analysis. It's so important that you analyze everything that you do. If you are using speaking to grow your business, like any business decision, you gotta analyze it. What's your ROI? Is it worth your time, effort, expenses, etc., to get in front of that group? And they recommend ways of testing it, which I think are fantastic. And I think it's worthy looking into. So we've got, like for a man, with a tie, without a tie. For a woman, a business suit or a brightly colored dress. Your offer, changing up your offer, the title of your presentation, the temperature of the room. Who would think? But that can definitely affect things. How certain key parts of your presentation are worded, PowerPoint versus no PowerPoint. The list goes on. I think it's a really great thing for you to test everything and keep very good information so you can look back and see what does and doesn't work. So that's a really valid point that I like. I'm going to, I think I'm just going to stop there because I really could go on forever. Oh, no, I'm going to say one more thing because they kind of end with this, and it really speaks to my heart because for me, the etiquette of speaking is what it's all about. I am such a firm believer in that. And one of the things that they talk about is they say an exceptional speaker thinks of themselves as a co-host of the event and acts accordingly. This really enhances the attendee experience. They also say to become a partner with everyone who books with you and deliver incredible results every time, both on and off the platform. And what they're going into is really how to be a speaker that people want to book. Because, I kicked it. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but event planners, speaker chairs, they all talk to each other. So you don't want to be that prima donna, or primo don, and act all that and not be available, not just pitch in when you realize that they need the tables cleared at the last minute or something like that. Be their partner because you're in this together to make this a successful event. And the more you do that, the more they're going to treasure you as a speaker and as a person, and they're going to spread the word about you. So definitely get this, ABCs of Speaking. I highly recommend it. Easy decision, no brainer, $10, invest in yourself, take some time, read it. I like that. I like this version. You can highlight the crap out of it, but if you're good at highlighting on Kindle, then do that too. But take notes, use it, and let me know what you think about it. Oh, and by the way, for all you authors, you need to get as many book reviews online on Amazon.com and Goodreads as possible. I myself am guilty of this, but I'm going to say, do as I say, not as I do. And when you read a good book, I will do this. Please do the author a courtesy by giving an honest review because that's how they can get noticed and it helps them with their Google juice. When an event planner is looking at a potential speaker, they are going to look to see if their book is any good. And if they don't have a lot of good reviews, then that is going to affect their decision as to whether they want to bring you on as a speaker or not. So please pass that forward. After you read this, share a great book review and help these 3 fabulous people out. All right, y'all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.